Hey, this is Nick, the Mining Book Guy, and today is the morning of Saturday, July 22nd, 2017. And this presentation is very timely because if you look at the screen, the 2017 Sprott Natural Resource Symposium in Vancouver is coming up next week. So, to start off with, I want to make it clear there are two goals here. This is to give you some clear links that you might not be aware of to help you understand more about the value of the symposium, and you can research it whether you're attending or not attending, and also to reiterate two of my favorite companies here, which are Mundoro and Predictive Discovery. It's MUN on the TSXV and PDI on the ASX, and I don't think either of them have attended before, and I hope that if you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel and you're planning to attend this conference, that you stop by their booths and meet with Teo Dechev at Mundoro and Paul Roberts at Predictive. So that's kind of a clear goal, but if you're not attending, I hope that you still get something out of this, and also be aware if you want to know more about Mundoro and Predictive, because I'm only going to briefly talk about them here. You can see my much longer videos, links to those at the end of this video and in the notes below. Quick disclosure, I own a bunch of shares in both of those companies, but I am completely independent from the companies. I am also independent from the Sprott Symposium, though I am a client of Sprott Global. I just buy and sell shares as retail. Again, there's no real promotion here except to try to share some information and possibly get you more interested in those companies, even if it's just for your research purposes. But that Sprott page is what most people will see. I think a lot of people would have difficulty finding all the information because I think it could have been a little clearer, but there was a little button, go here for details. Well, again, these links will be below this video, but this page would take you to the more interesting stuff. Specifically, schedule and exhibitors to me are what you'd want to see. And the schedule, people who are attending are probably going to get this, but if you're not attending, this is pretty useful to look through to see what they're really trying to promote, or how everything is organized. But importantly, not every company shows up on the schedule. Every company does show up on the exhibitors page, but this is a long page and it's also not organized as clear as possible. But I was looking through stuff. If I search for Predictive, there we go. On page 49, Predictive is going to be at booth number 20. And if I search for Mundoro, we'll do that real quick. Mundoro, booth 49, that's on page 44. So there are a lot of other companies there, but again, those are the two that at least my interest, and I think that it could be easy to miss some of these smaller companies. These are two that I'm saying are a standout, but please do look for other companies on here. And I even have an additional link to help you with this. I have to give a shout out to Newton, at Newton, at CEO.CA, which is Peter N. Bell at Twitter. I've mentioned him in videos before. What's cool is I think he is going to attend. You can see that he uses this hashtag Sprott Symposium room. I definitely recommend, if you're at CEO.CA, to follow this during the week, because it wouldn't surprise me if you'll see more on it. But specifically, he put this link out, and it's a really important link. He wrote "wow," and I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." I'm not sure why it's locked, but because I don't think it's searchable. Yeah, it's an unlisted video, but this is basically a full tour given by Rick of all the companies. And so if you haven't seen this yet, again, if you're not attending the conference, I think this might be even more valuable because you get ideas from Rick on each company. Now, specifically on Mundoro, it's on page 6, and Predictive, yeah, there you go, is on number 7. I think there are so many companies that he goes through. These are just minuscule compared to some of the bigger ones. I think there were some good things he said about each of them, but there were some things that he missed a little bit. I'm not trying to say anything negative, but just being a little bit critical. I want to add a few points of my own of why you should pay attention to both of those companies specifically, and where it could be really valuable if you're attending the conference to speak to the people running them. But a few more shout outs. Actually, yeah, I wanted to go to Samson's page, at Samson. So this is what's cool about CEO.CA. You can go to profile pages and learn more about people. What's neat, Samson is from Hong Kong, or at least he lives there right now. And I don't know anybody else who's actually in Asia at the moment. There was Jay the firefighter was there for a while, even though he's American back in California. But the point is, it's always cool to find people from new places, other different continents even. And Samson's someone who might not be that well known at CEO.CA, but I love finding people like him because he does a lot of independent research. He's got some companies listed here of interest, some of which I know, some I don't know, and some that aren't widely followed. And so it's always good to find people like this. And he brought up some points on predictive that I thought were worth mentioning. I think he was, talking about, listing on the TSXV. I agree with him. I think it would be really valuable if more of the ASX companies got listed on the TSXV and it opened things up. I think specifically for predictive, it could be really good, though there are some negatives to that. We'll see if it happens, but I think that'd be interesting. And he also was talking about how results look good, but then the share price goes down, and said, that unfortunately tends to happen. Oh, I just wanted to show, see, Samson said he was a nobody, but he actually has a really cool background. I think he's attending the 121 mining conference in Hong Kong later this year. And so, I feel like more of a nobody than Samson because I don't work in the industry, but he does. And so, again, it's someone that you should consider following at CEO.CA along with a lot of other smart people as well. But back to predictive specifically, they had these results just the other day. And these were solid results. Pretty good widths. Decent grades, but in particular, they were near surface or even at surface. And this is not the most valuable project to me, but the point is, Predictive's a prospect generator, and it has a lot of different projects, and they're doing a lot of real drilling work. Now, the stock price it's kind of funny. I'm going to go to the predictive page now, which is PDI.AX. It actually moved down on the news, and I was trying to buy, and I missed it. So on Friday, the day after the news, it went up 12%. But really importantly, you look at the past year, yeah, the chart doesn't look good at all. They raised money, way back here at 10 cents, and it's trading at 7.4 cents. It's trading for a huge discount, and that money was raised partially by Rick Rule with no warrants. And I think that's just a really important point I want to say, because so many other prospect generators raise with full 5-year warrants, and Predictive didn't. And so as a retail investor, it's still a very good price. And you've got these good results, and then you had results where also didn't have an effect on the market. 30 meters at 8.3 grams per ton. This was back in May. They've had good results. Now this one was actually a little more mixed to me overall. I'd say there was borderline grade smearing. It was all actually clearly mentioned in here with like the nugget effect and things. But the point is, they're doing real work. They're going to have follow-up drilling on this project, which is really, really well placed. And I think that Rick didn't go through it in detail because he can't, because he only that little virtual tour, he can only talk for a company for a minute or two. But I think this is one of the best places in the world to look for tier 1 gold discoveries. And that Predictive has a first mover advantage in Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. It's very hard to get in there, and I hope that people realize that this is unique in that they are in a part of the world that's really exciting, that's hard to get into, and there are no other prospect generators that I'm aware of in Africa. So it's a really good story for the Sprott Symposium. I think it will really stand out, and they're doing a lot more drilling work than a lot of the other prospect generators there. So I'm just trying to give you a reason to talk to Paul to learn more about the company if you're attending the Sprott Symposium. And then another shout out to I want my money back. That's a really good name. You can always come up with your own names, and I think that's a funny one. I assume it's a he. I just want to actually make a critical comment. I have mixed feelings about this because I love it that he's tagging a lot. This is his page, and you can see that he tags a lot of. He'll have like a bunch of companies that he tags. You can overuse this a little bit at CEO.CA. I actually like it because he seems to like a lot of companies that I'm a fan of. But I'm just saying, sometimes you got to be a little careful not to be overly promotional with tagging stuff. But again, good comments overall from I want my money back. He's from the Netherlands, which is cool, getting people from Europe, and it's neat that people are from all over the place. And he asked something about comparing Mundoro to Medgold. And I made some comments that maybe sounded a little negative on Medgold here. I stand by the comments, but I just want to make it clear. I actually think Medgold is really interesting. It's in Serbia, and they have a neat drilling program, but I don't think it's all that cheap. I think it's roughly fairly valued. Well, I really think that Mundoro Capital is very cheap. And so I was trying to make that point. And even though Rick made a good point in his little blurb that one of the values for Mundoro is the combination of being in the Timok district near Nevsun's big project there, and they have a Jognek JV, I don't think he mentioned Bulgaria at all. And that's one of the reasons I really like Mundoro, is that you have so many different projects, and it's so easy to forget about all the different value. And this is a presentation from the Mundoro website. I went straight to page 8. I have to give so much props to Mundoro. I mean, applause, everything. It's they if there was an award for like most improved company on reporting, they would get it. I mean, really, like these pages, page 8 and 9, there are so many things that they've drill tested already this year, and they're drilling right now. In fact, I even dare you, and I would love for you, if you found a company that even had close to as many catalysts as Mundoro. In fact, Predictive is pretty good too. Predictive has at least 3 interesting projects. Mundoro has like 5 or 6 of them. If you find other ones, please let me know, because it's really hard for me to find a company that is doing as much good work as Mundoro. And you can talk to Teo to learn more about it, but just look at this page and you'll see that they've done so much and they have so much more going on. And specifically, I just want to point out, like, people forget about the Engel project, which I'm really excited about. They're going to have news on it soon. In fact, I just wanted to make a point. These last results, I think, were disappointing from Tilvarash in Serbia, but they weren't that expensive. They did make some progress. The weird thing is that Mundoro actually traded up on that news. So again, I was surprised it traded up. I think you can see the 1 week. Yeah, it traded up a little bit. But Mundoro, to me, is a good example of being misunderstood by the market. It traded way down on news that I actually thought was better overall, but a lot of people treat Mundoro like there's only 1 or 2 projects. And that was drilled by Jognek, and the grades were disappointing in Serbia, but they actually have something that is starting to look like the possibility it could resemble the Timok project for Nevsun. I'm not saying it is going to be that, but that's exciting. I don't think it should have traded down that much, but it's almost like the market forgot about all these other projects. And then on the other hand, it trades up on this other news, which I thought was worse. But so back to the Bulgaria thing, the market almost doesn't even realize Bulgaria exists for the company, even though I find it very exciting. Engel is looking for high-grade gold that is similar to Krumovgrad, which is part of Dundee Precious Metals, which, again, people forget about that company, but they're building an interesting gold project there right now. But Chuka the market didn't do anything, and they actually made what I think is a nice-looking discovery there. So Mundoro has all this interesting stuff going on that the market forgets about, and they've got a lot more drilling. Can't go through all of it right now, but Mundoro, you should talk to Teo. Predictive, you should talk to Paul. There are some other companies I'm interested in, but I'm just emphasizing those because they're big positions of mine, and I still think they're both very undervalued by the market. I thank you for listening. I would be happy to discuss any more about these companies in the coming weeks. And actually, a quick apology for people listening. I am slow about getting back to email, but always lately you should try to reach me at CEO.CA. If you're not signed up there, you should definitely sign up at CEO.CA. And just one other quick reminder, follow the hashtag Sprott Symposium if you're not attending the conference. People like Newton are likely going to post some good stuff there. So this is Nick the Mining Book Guy. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon. Bye.